Thank you, Kelsey. Let's get a look at some of those first period highlights. As Kelsey mentioned, Ashley, Canada able to stake themselves out to a 1-0 lead.
Canada had a lot of opportunities. They just weren't able to generate any goals on those opportunities. A lot of maybe missed opportunities as they had two open shots with open nets in front, and they just missed the net. The Russians were able to do some second opportunities, second chances to get back and just get their sticks on it and deflect the pucks away.
You get a look at Sophie Shirley there, the leading scorer for Team Canada, unable to get them on the board in the first, but that's okay because courtesy a goal from Ashton Bell, as we're going to see here, the deflection, that's what puts Canada up after 20 minutes. And Ashley, they're going to start here as we get a look at head coach Lisa Haley with 59 seconds of 5-on-3 power play time. This really a critical juncture here in the game, and should Canada not capitalize, you have to think that's a major momentum boost for the Russians.
The Russians will look to kill off this 5-on-3, Nico, just like you mentioned, and it would be a huge momentum boost if they were able to do so. And coaches and players, I'm sure, hate power plays at the beginning of a period. You're just getting back out there, you're getting your feel for the start of the game, and I don't know, there's got to be some stat out there, but I would like to see what it is. They're probably 80% of power plays that start at the start of a period generally don't end in a goal.
Yeah, it's tough really for both teams, and maybe a slight advantage to the defending team, because as you mentioned, if you're the team on the power play, you're just trying to get your feet going, get the pace and speed back up, and not that there's added pressure being on the power play, but you don't want to feel like you've wasted opportunities. And 59 seconds of 5-on-3 power play time, that's a pretty significant opportunity staring the Canadians down here as we get you set for the second period of play. And not a very first period for Canadian goaltender, a busy first period for Edith Dato-Moreau. Just one registered shot, but she did get a couple touches of the puck.
She was able to touch it, control things behind the net, communicate with her defense, which is always a good sign for the goaltender to just get in the game. I'm sure she would have liked a few more easy shots.
Sure.
But nonetheless, she's had one and she was able to stop it.
As the Russians will start this period with Likachiova in the box for 59 seconds. You get a look at her number 19, the near player, and number 21, Elena Novikova, who's just starting to serve her 2-minute minor. Second period here at the Meridian Center underway as you're watching the 2016 IIHF Under-18 Women's World Championship on HockeyCanada.ca. Right away, Potomac brings it into the Russian zone. 5-on-3 here for the Canadians. Tinker at the blue line. Cross ice to Cross. Back to Tinker, near side, far side to Cross. She creeps in, closing down the zone ever so slightly. Both defenders at the top of the face-off dots, essentially, as Cross and Potomac pass it between themselves. Cross, and with the net coming off after the Canadians try set the screen in front, we'll have a stoppage in play here. And interesting to see where the referees will drop the puck here. It looks like they'll keep it inside the Russian zone.
They're going to deem that the Canadian player was pushed into the net and didn't go in there on her own power. Therefore, the faceoff will stay inside as opposed to outside.
Well, maybe feeling the first group wasn't getting it done, Haley puts out the second group, and immediately they get a shot on Tarkanova, who gives up a rebound. Bourbonnais at the point, cross ice to Houston, back to Bourbonnais. Back to Houston, 18 seconds left in the 5-on-3. They try slide it in, and they slide it wide of the goal, courtesy a shot from Kristen O'Neill. Bourbonnais near side, 10 seconds left on the 5-on-3. That shot through traffic, right on goal, but Tarkanova makes the stop. Her 12th of the game. Bourbonnais near side, O'Neill, they tip it in. Great save, second chance goes wide. Bank home, and they still can't get it by Tarkanova.
Great second effort there to get back in front of the net.
One-timer by Bourbonnais stopped. Now just 45 seconds left here on the Canadian power play. The Russians have killed off the first. Centered O'Neill, who was in a prime shooting zone, makes the pass when maybe she should have gotten selfish and fired a shot. Far side, captain Lindsay Agnew feeds it near side to Bourbonnais. It was on her backhand. Good job to get it into the slot. Malte fed it wide of the net. The Russians under pressure try slam it around the boards, but Bourbonnais able to control that one. Malte makes the pass. Agnew lets the shot go off speed, and they tap home the rebound. Riley Houston on the power play. Number 15 scores with 15 seconds left on the power play, and Canada go up 2-0.
And what Canada's going to have to do is exactly what they did there. They're going to have to get that shot, that first shot through, and have someone on the doorstep to bang in a rebound. Tarkanova is playing very well. She's big. She takes up a large portion of that net. She's making those first saves, and the rebounds are there for the taking. As we take a look, not much she's going to do on that play. It wasn't even a big rebound, but Houston was standing right on the doorstep and was able to just tuck that home.
Well, and a great job by Houston, but really some weak defending there by the Russians. You can see on that replay, 3 Russian sweaters, all white, right in front of the net, but no one there to provide any support for Tarkanova. And with the power play marker, the Canadians go up 2-0. Well, with that icing called, no one could even hear the whistle as the crowd getting loud during the goal announcement. So Canada 1 for 2 on the power play. Potomac drawing one of the assists. And again, it's Riley Houston picking up the big goal for Team Canada. Zubak nearly creates a turnover. Howren feeds it through. Nice job by Frappier to control a rolling puck. She's got Friesen in the slot, still on the stick of Frappier. Back to the point for Knowles. Knowles feeds it through, redirected by Oswald, but never got to the net, so that gives Zenchenko a chance to lift it out through center ice. Howren under pressure, turns it over. Dobrodeva, long shot from way out. I don't even think they're going to count that one as a shot for Dato Moreau, who's really not been tested yet. Russia generating just 1 shot on goal as we've played over 2.5 minutes here in the second period. Pugina, stretch cross ice pass intended for Faliakova, and she steps around Elms. Faliakova tries to cut to the net, but the rolling puck knocked away from her. Centers it, a bouncer. 3 Canadian jerseys there providing support for the goaltender, and here comes Houston. Hard pass intended for Schneider, out of her reach, but good quick rush from Schneider. Gets to it, tries to center it for Agnew, but off the side of the net. Bologreva unable to clear the zone. Houston just overskates that puck, and it's picked up by Faliakova. Nice move by Faliakova, leading a 2-on-1 here. Cuts wide, but beautiful defense from Soroya Tinker, and now she's carrying it up for Canada. Tinker across the blue line, just offside as Agnew was heading to the bench for the change. So with 16:22 left in the second period, we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone.
Canada will be pleased with that power play to start the period. They were able to generate a goal. As it started off, it looked like the Russians were going to be able to kill it off. And Lisa Hurley, the head coach, decided to switch it up and get that second power play unit out there, and they were able to generate a goal.
Yeah, that was a critical point of that power play when they went for the line change, and it ends up paying off for the Canadians and their head coach, Lisa Haley, as Canada continue to pressure here. Ashton Bell, she got the opening goal of this game, as now she leaves it for Emma Malte. Bourbonnais wants it at the point. Malte opts not to try force it through, keeping it along the far wall where O'Neill comes in for some support. Malte kicks it over to Bell. O'Neill heads to the net where she's trapped up, and then Tarkanova tried to give a little kick to the feet of O'Neill. No love lost between these two longtime rivals, that's for sure. As Bourbonnais, nice crisp pass right to the stick of O'Neill, who tries to dangle her way through the zone, but it's quickly knocked away and out to center ice.
It's been a pretty rough game so far. Even the first period, we saw some big hits. To start the second, we're seeing a little more chippiness.
And you know, we haven't seen much of Kadyrova here in the second period either. Obviously, a part of that being the Russians on the penalty kill. But, you know, even at that, there's been times where she's been out there shorthanded for Team Russia. So, well, continue to keep an eye on her. And if she makes an impact, she'll come out on the ice now. But here comes Potomac. Nice move. Cuts wide and just runs out of real estate. Bulgareva coming up with a big stop there for Team Russia. Kadyrova now all the way down there for the Russians. Far corner, far hash marks, can't feed it through as Watts makes a good block. And here comes a 3-on-1 for the Canadians. Potomac with it on her stick. Maybe a little too cute there and a little indecisive. She can't make a play at all.
That was a missed opportunity, a 3-on-1, and you didn't even generate a shot. Potomac is definitely going to want to have that one back.
Long stretch, good play by Howren, because if she didn't get that puck, Kadyrova was in all alone behind her. The Russians gained his own. Kadyrova can't corral that one, and again, she's just a little step slow. She doesn't quite seem to have that explosiveness we've seen from her throughout the game and throughout the tournament, especially here since taking that inadvertent collision at center ice.
And she's comparable to O'Neill with her speed.
Yeah.
And if you look at the two so far, Kadyrova is nowhere close to the same foot speed as O'Neill has been showing in this game so far.
Icing call here against Canada, so we'll have the face-off coming up to the left of Dato Moreau. We get a look at Victoria Howren there. She's been logging some serious minutes on that blue line for Canada, and definitely one of their stronger defenders. As they're icing the indication, icing waved off. Good hustle by Frappier. Annie Berg plays it back to the line for Tinker. That's picked off, and here comes Likhatyova for Russia. Likhatyova drops it. Dobrodeva, far side, they let it go. Bouncing puck. Yeah, could have been a high stick. Ashley, you were certainly motioning for it, but the Canadians ultimately lucky that that sequence doesn't end up in the back of their net. Russia with their best chance of the game so far. Again, just 2 shots on goal for Russia as we approach the 7-minute mark of this second period in this semifinal game here at the 2016 IIHF Under-18 Women's World Championship. As Zenchenko brings it in. Well, she went for the extra move and it's poked away from here, so here comes Schneider back the other way for Canada. Tries to get it over to Agnew, who runs into Novikova, and we've got a whistle here. We'll step away for a short break here, 12:40 remaining in the second period. Actually, this is going to be a penalty against the Russians. As going to the box right now is Elena Novikova. So it looks like Canada will have a power play coming up, but in the meantime, we're going to send it over to Kelsey Scobie.